Alright, what's up YouTube? It's Kizaru123 here from the Pokemon Castle, coming at you with a really good OU battle I had the other day with my Sand team. So let's get started. So for this battle, I'm on the left side. I lead up with my Jellicent, and he leads off with his Landorus. So here he switches out into his Rotom, which is kind of the obvious move. I went for Scald anyway, because I was hoping for a burn, which I do get, so um, already off to a pretty good start. Predicting the Volt Switch, I go into my Tyranitar because I know it won't do anything to me, but he actually just goes for this the trick, so that kind of sucks. Because T-Tar is very slow. So, well, mine is anyway. I don't have any speed EVs, so yeah. Now he goes into his Landorus Therian. I set up my Rocks, so because I know it'll be useful to take out the Dragonite. And he goes into his, or I go into my Gyarados, and he actually just goes for the U-turn to switch into his Rotom. So knowing he has a Volt Switch, I obviously don't want to get hit by that. So I actually just go ahead and after everything takes damage, I switch because, like I said, Volt Switch will knock me out. Um, and sure enough, he does go for it, so Latios is able to take it very well. And now he goes into his Blissey, and I was hoping that Psyshock would do much more than it did. As you'll see here, Psyshock does a decent amount, but not enough, and he actually just sets up a Wish. So yeah. Now I go for another one. Does another 40%, very close to killing it, and he Thunder Waves me, which is terrible. Like, like that's like one of the worst things that could happen to me at this point in time, because I was really going to need Latios for taking out a lot of things actually, like Dragonite and Rotom Wash, but I can't do that anymore, unfortunately. And he goes into Skarmory, which takes the Psyshock very well. So yeah, things are looking kind of bad for me, and he's able to set up spikes on me. I go into Jellicent because I know I can Scald this thing and hopefully get the burn, but he actually just goes into Blissey, so Blissey's obviously able to tank the special hit very well. But I do get a burn on it, so that'll kind of help. I know this thing has Natural Cure, but while it's out, it'll take damage, or he can switch out and risk another burn Pokemon. So he actually does go ahead and stay in. But he sets up a Wish now. I'm not really sure why he didn't just go for Soft Boiled, or I'm not even sure if he has Soft Boiled, because now I can knock him out. Um, so yeah, it was either he switches out and lets something get healed, and then come back in later and die, or he just dies now and gets a free switch. So now he goes into Rotom Wash. Now I decided to stay in because I really thought I was being a bit too scared back then by switching out. And sure enough, I really was because it didn't really do a lot to me at all. The Volt Switch, I mean. So he goes into Dragonite now, and surprisingly, it one-shots me, which like it just came out of nowhere. I was gonna Ice Beam this thing and take it out, but I guess I can't really do that anymore, unfortunately. Now I go into my Terrakion. I go for the Stone Edge and take it out. I'm not really sure why he didn't switch out into like Landorus or something, because Landorus does have the Intimidate, but he goes into it now anyway. And knowing this thing will probably be able to take me out, I switch into my Latios to take the Earthquake, but he actually just goes for Stone Edge, predicting that, and Sandstorm takes me out. So, unfortunately, Latios is down. Now I go into my Gyarados and get the Intimidate on him, and he actually just switches out into Skarmory, which is, well, it's not really that big of a deal because I set up a Dragon Dance, but Skarmory's defense is rather high, I'm sure you all know. And as you can see there, Waterfall didn't do as much as I wanted it to. And he Whirlwinds me, so that kind of sucks. So now I go into my Scizor. I'm pretty sure this is the one that has Superpower, because I have like 3 OU teams with Scizors. And I know one of them only has Roost instead of Superpower. I'm not really sure why I did that, but you know, it's whatever. So he goes into Landorus. He drops my attack after I set up Swords Dance, but I go for it again because I really need the hit on Skarmory. But thankfully, it actually helped out in taking out Landorus instead. So here, I was really hoping I'd be faster so that I could take this thing out with Superpower. But alas, he is faster than I am, so that takes me out. Alright, now he doesn't want to die, so he switches out into his Skarmory. Good switch on his part because close combat doesn't do enough. It's like the situation with Blissey all over again. It does 40%, and not really as much as I'd hoped. So now I switch into my Tyranitar. This thing does no Fire Blast, so I was hoping to get that off. He goes for Roost. So I mean, even if it was going to one-shot it, which obviously it didn't, Even if it was going to, Sturdy would have helped him live it. So now he switches out into his Rotom Wash. I was actually predicting to switch into. I was actually like not predicting, but like thinking that he might switch into Heatran, but for some reason he didn't. And I guess he was predicting me to go for something else, but I don't know. So now he goes into Heatran. I don't want to really lose Tyranitar yet, so I switch out into Gyarados, but he sets up Stealth Rocks on the switch, so now things are looking even worse for me. He goes into Skarmory, which makes it just even worse now because I realized how little my Waterfalls did um, a few turns ago. So I go for Waterfall here. Doesn't really do a lot, and he whirlwinds me into my Tyranitar, which is actually a pretty good switch because now I can set up and now I can use Fire Blast. But he actually switches out here into his Heatran um, to take the hit, but I predict that and go for the Dragon Tail instead because I didn't really think he would want to lose his Skarmory so early in the game. But if you guys remember, early on in the battle, I actually got tricked, so I can't really use Fire Blast right now because I have a Choice Scarf, so I can't use more than one move. So now he goes for Earth Power. I just keep Dragon Tailing. I guess at this point I'm tired of switching out, and I decide to just fodder this thing out. He sets up a Spikes, which is just like pretty bad for me right now because the last thing I need is hazards all over the place. So now he goes into Heatran and takes me out with Earth Power, or rather, I Dragon Tailed him into Heatran. So now I go to Terrakion, and thankfully he finally stays in and he loses Heatran. But I guess that was a pretty good move on his part anyway because Heatran was really low on health, so there's no point in really keeping it alive. So now I go for the close combat. It doesn't do well. It does a good amount, but unfortunately he's able to roost it all back. So yeah, things are looking pretty bleak for me right now. Close combat still isn't doing enough, obviously, um, and he just keeps roosting it back. So, well, there's really not much I could do at this point other than staying in with Terrakion. So that's exactly what I do. And he actually just whirlwinds. So I'm guessing at this point he's hoping for whirlwind hazard damage. Um, yeah. So now I go for the waterfall, trying to flinch him. I actually didn't get a flinch at all this entire battle, which really, really sucks. He gets I get some sandstorm damage, and his attack is lowered, but obviously that doesn't really matter. And he whirlwinds me again into my Terrakion. So at this point, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing at this point. And Stone Edge misses, which really, 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 really sucked because I was hoping for the crit. But it hits this time, and I do get the crits, so I guess that made up for it. He gets the Whirlwind off again, and I switch on to my Gyarados, and unfortunately, as you'll see here, it gets buffeted by the Sandstorm and dies. But as you see it, look at his health. It has 40% left, so I'm really, really hoping that Close Combat takes this thing out, but so close, 1% of health left, and Brave Bird is able to take me out. He takes himself out, and Showdown does say it was a tie, but in official Pokemon rules, whoever falls first in a tie like that is the loser. So, great game, alkdjf1. Pretty sure that's how you say it. It was a lot of fun. It was so, so close. I even messaged him later on. I'm like, damn, that was a really good battle. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle as well, as much as I did. It was really, really fun. This is one of the first ties I've ever had on Showdown. So, yeah, it was really interesting. So, please continue to like, comment, and subscribe on the videos. I'll be coming back with more soon, and I'll see you all later. Bye.